take it back to the 1840s and the 1860s when Colonel Denison was here establishing this new area of the city by bringing forward beautiful Edwardian and Victorian homes and establishing this new dynamic neighborhood. Those houses are still here. They're just in a different form.
Well, at the turn of last century, the 1900s, it was a Jewish market, and then it was a Portuguese market, and now it's evolved into not so much a market, but more of a entertainment area.
Entertainment? No. I'd say it's more of a foodie place where you can come and taste different foods off the globe.
I would say it's both a market and an entertainment hub. You never know what's going to happen here.
What makes Kensington Market unique is that difference is normal, and normal is different.
This place holds a special place in my heart. I love coming down to Kensington Market.
A lot of good vibes. It reminded me a lot of Camden Market in London. It's very eclectic. I really like that.
Mixing of all these ethnicities. That, I think, is what makes Kensington tick.
I think part of the problem is a lot of the business owners used to live in the buildings above, their apartments were above their businesses, so they cared about the community. Now, of the 224 businesses that are in Kensington Market, I think maybe 6 or 8 owners live in the market. So what happens is they open their restaurant, they open their bar, whatever, and then they go home and they leave us with the problems. And that's part of the problem.
Kensington's a place where everyone is welcome, regardless of your background, regardless of who you are. If you're doing a great job and you're here to make a difference, a positive impact, Kensington welcomes you with open arms.
This place is like one of the top 5 tourist attractions for Toronto.
It gives anyone who comes to visit, including the guests on our tour, a real taste of what diversity looks like in Canada. And I think it's an important part to be, celebrated and cherished.
That long as God choose you, you're good at Kensington. So if you're different, that's normal at Kensington. If you see that you're normal, you should hang out on Young and Dundas. Because, we're not that perfect, we're sorry.
What's happened is, over the years, this has evolved from a really family-friendly place, and it's a completely different culture now. It's more of a come to Kensington Market and you can do what you want.
Security without freedom is slavery. But freedom without security is anarchy. So I think in Kensington there is a balance that we do tolerate behaviors, but we do have an underlying structure that you really can't go over.
Because of what the City of Toronto is saying, it's a bohemian market and you can do what you do, people take that, they can come here and do what they want.
When you have the Ivory Tower and the street, you want wisdom, always go with the street. And you'll find those streets here in Kensington Market.
One thing that's very clear is there's a very strong sense of community, culture, and belonging.
I think what I like about it is that all of those different people coexist here, so it's not a dominant culture.
I don't think there's one dominant culture. You find all kinds of cuisine here.
I think what is going to keep Kensington weird and fun and unique and delicious is the community itself.
When you see the thousands of people that are here before the pandemic, nobody's got a shopping bag in their hand. They've got takeout food, they've got alcohol, and they have free acts, and they're just here to see the free acts.
And then come the pandemic. That wasn't nice. 30% of the business was gone because they had to close.
The first couple of weeks was definitely very scary for the market. We were closed for about 2 or 3 weeks, I think.
Where you come down here and all day not one person pass on the street, that could drive you crazy, A lot of people don't even know that. You come out 2 or 3 days and you have no customers, that shit depresses you.
The last day that we were open was on Pie Day. Yeah. So we sold all our pies and we go, oh, that's it. What a way to go out. Now, as far as gentrification, it's an ongoing problem.
It just became too big and too competitive.
A lot of people say gentrification is bad, but in a way it's a good thing because it opened up a lot of people's minds that were closed-minded before, you know?
I think rent has certainly gone up.
3 years ago, there used to be a vegetarian restaurant in Augusta. It was called Cosmic Treats. They were paying $3,000 a month. When they went to renew their lease, the son who took it over after the mother and father died said, no, the same building, same square footage, everything is $9,000 a month.
And when that rent increase took place, people found themselves cannot afford Kensington.
You bring in $1 million houses now, then the people that can't support themselves or come here to get good deals on food and stuff like that will move.
I think Kensington has continued to evolve, and while there are restaurants and businesses and buildings that are no longer here, I think the sentiment and the energy and the legacy of many of them have stayed.
I'm happy that, you know, the progression is a good progression. It's not really, no one really has been affected negatively in the progression of Kensington Market, in my opinion.
There used to be a vegetable store right on the corner of Augusta and Baldwin. That was one of the 3 vegetable stores. They were here for 15, 20 years. The developer, the guy bought the building, threw them out. They're gone.
As of now, there are only 2 produce stores left in the market, which is a real shame.
Will there always be pressures? Yes. Will there always be individuals that will trim around the edges and find another way to add a few condos or develop a new home or to update a new business? Yes. But I think we have to continue to fight for the diversity.
These things come in waves, and I expect that the market definitely will survive in one form or another.
Sometimes it's just unbearable to live here.
It's like a really fun hangout spot with me and my friends. And I like all the artwork here and all the restaurants.
Kensington's a very loud, vibrant kind of place. I love how many people there are. I love how many people look like they're very comfortable in their skin when they're walking around here.
The other day, I was walking across the street, Augusta, and I almost got hit by a cyclist coming southbound on a northbound street. And I turned to the cyclist, I said, "You're going the wrong way." And the cyclist said, "What's the matter? I'm in Kensington Market."
Kensington Market means to me love, is culture, like mosaic. The mosaic is you are making piece by piece a lot of color together. Kensington Market is like mosaic, a lot of culture together.
So if you think about the culture and the history and the presence that we're occupying, there's so much that you can dig into and so much relationships and networks.
There is a number of individuals that are residents in the market that have a very deep and abiding love for and respect for the market.
We have so many marijuana dispensaries because they can afford the rent. That's also taken away from the culture because you're not getting families coming down here to buy marijuana.
We have to fiercely defend the fun and the color that this neighborhood represents.
I would say that encouraging people to come down and feel the true life of a market is very important. I'm telling you, this is where real people are.
We can't lose sight of what makes Kensington, Kensington.
So it was like one time in this Kensington Market, 25 acres, we had something as 20 to 25 marijuana stores.
And because it's legal, when you walk through the park, if you breathe, you can actually get high from all the people smoking marijuana. So it's not conducive to families. It's not conducive to me sitting on my balcony.
You recognize that there is the beauty of the rose, but the rose also has thorns. But where do you put your emphasis on? The blossom, the bloom. Good things happen in the market for sure.
So as a resident here, it's hard to live here. I enjoy living here because I can walk around. I have lots of friends that own businesses, so I go and talk to them. I also work from my house, so I can get out, go get a coffee, and do things. But the outer things that are coming are making it very hard to live here. And that's the evolution of Kensington Market as I see it.